In 1347, a ship arrived at the port of Messina in Sicily. The sailors on board were dead or dying. Their skin was covered in black swellings, oozing blood. The port authorities ordered the ships out of the harbor immediately. The ships left, but the rats did not. Within 3 years, 1/3 of Europe's entire population was dead. The Black Death had arrived, and in its aftermath, the survivors did something that no historian has ever fully explained. They painted everything red: church doors, city gates, the walls of quarantine houses, the crosses marked on the doors of the infected. Red, not black for death, not white for purity, not any color that the modern eye would associate with plague and grief. Red. The historians who have studied this period note the color choice but rarely examine it. They treat it as aesthetic. It was not aesthetic. It was biological. The human nervous system has a relationship with red that precedes every civilization that has ever used it. It precedes language. It precedes thought. It is older than the human species itself. Your eyes contain 3 types of color receptors. The receptors that process red are the most numerous, the most sensitive, the most deeply connected to the brain's threat and reward centers. When red enters your visual field, your heart rate increases before your conscious mind has registered the color. Your pupils dilate. Your adrenal system activates. Your body is preparing. For what? It does not yet know, but it is preparing. The survivors of the Black Death did not choose red consciously. Their nervous systems chose it for them. Red on a door meant something happened here that your body needs to know about before your mind decides whether to approach. The color was a warning encoded in the oldest language the human species has ever shared. A language that requires no translation, no literacy, no shared culture. Every human being alive, in every civilization that has ever existed, responds to red the same way, faster than any other color, more intensely than any other color, with less conscious mediation than any other color. And every civilization that has ever held power has known this, and every single one of them has used it. But here is the fact that changes everything you think you know about red. They did not all use it the same way. In China, red was the color of luck, joy, and marriage. In medieval Europe, red was the color of sin, blood, and the devil. In ancient Rome, red was the color of military power, of the general returning victorious. In Japan, red was the color of protection against evil spirits. In the American political system, red is the color of 1/2 of a divided nation. Same color, same neurological trigger, completely opposite meanings, assigned, enforced, and transmitted across generations by institutions that understood one thing above all others. If you control what red means, you control what people feel in their bodies when they see it, before they have time to disagree. The Black Death survivors painted their doors red because their bodies told them to. The institutions that came after them painted everything else red because they had learned to speak the same language, and they have been speaking it to you every day of your life without your knowledge or consent. In 1810, a French chemist named Michel-Eugène Chevreul was hired by the Gobelins manufactory in Paris, the most prestigious tapestry workshop in the world, to solve a problem. Their black dyes were inconsistent. Some blacks looked blue, some looked brown, some looked green. Chevreul spent 7 years investigating. What he discovered had nothing to do with black dye. It changed the entire history of Western art, advertising, and visual psychology. He discovered that red placed next to gray makes the gray appear green. Red placed next to orange makes the orange appear yellow. Red placed next to black makes the red appear to bleed, to advance toward the eye, to leave the surface it is painted on and enter the space of the viewer. Red does not behave like other colors. Other colors sit on the surface they occupy. Red moves. Chevreul called this simultaneous contrast, the phenomenon by which colors alter each other's appearance based on proximity. But what he had actually discovered, without naming it this way, was that red is the only color in the visible spectrum that the human visual cortex processes as three-dimensional. Red appears closer than it is, always, in every human eye, in every culture, without exception. The Roman generals who painted their faces red before battle understood this without chemistry. A red face advances toward the enemy before the body does. The enemy's nervous system registers the red, registers something approaching, and the fear response activates before the rational mind can override it. Red won battles before the fighting began. This is the second historical fact about red that changes everything. The Roman Empire did not build the most powerful military civilization in Western history through superior weapons or superior numbers. They built it, in significant part, through superior color psychology. Red tunics, red cloaks, red painted shields, red painted faces of the generals. An entire army that appeared, to every nervous system it faced, to be advancing faster than it actually was, closer than it actually was, more numerous than it actually was, because red moves, and a nervous system that perceives something red as approaching does not wait for confirmation. It responds. The Roman Empire fell in 476 CE. The color strategy did not fall with it. In 1890, a London tailor named Thomas Burberry noticed something in his sales records. Red garments sold faster than identical garments in other colors. Not slightly faster, significantly faster. He commissioned a study, one of the first formal studies of color and consumer behavior ever conducted. The finding was unambiguous. Red increased the perceived value of a garment by an average of 30% among buyers who had no idea they were responding to color. They believed they were responding to quality. They were responding to red. Burberry changed his flagship displays. His competitors noticed. Within a decade, red was the dominant color in London's luxury retail windows. Not because London's tastemakers had chosen it, because London's nervous systems had. The Roman general and the London tailor never occupied the same century. They never shared a language or a theory or a philosophy, but they shared a discovery. Red closes distance between an army and its enemy, between a product and its buyer, between a color and the oldest part of the human brain. And that discovery, made and remade across every civilization that has ever studied human attention, is the engine running silently beneath every red thing you have ever found yourself drawn toward, without knowing why, without being asked. You are surrounded by red right now, not in the room you are sitting in necessarily, but in the architecture of every system designed to hold your attention. YouTube's interface is red, Netflix's interface is red, CNN's breaking news banner is red, Coca-Cola has been red since 1886, Target, Nintendo, Virgin, Levi's, H&M, ESPN, all red. This is not coincidence, and it is not aesthetic preference. It is the application of the oldest neurological knowledge in human history, deployed with modern precision against a nervous system that has not changed since the African savanna. In 2009, researchers at the University of Rochester published a study in the Journal of Experimental Psychology. They showed participants identical resumes, printed on different colored paper. The resumes on red paper were rated as belonging to more confident, more capable, more hirable candidates. The evaluators had no idea the paper color was the variable being tested. They believed they were reading the candidates' qualifications. They were reading red. In 2011, a separate study showed that athletes wearing red uniforms in direct competition win at a statistically significant higher rate than athletes wearing other colors, even when matched for skill level. The red athletes did not perform better. The red athletes were perceived as more dominant by judges, by opponents, by crowds, before the competition began. Red closed the distance before the first move was made. The Roman generals who painted their faces red before battle were not performing ritual. They were running the same program that the University of Rochester researchers documented 2,000 years later. The program has never been updated. Because the nervous system has never been updated. You have been inside this program your entire life. Every red notification badge that pulled your eye to a screen. Every red sale tag that made a price feel more urgent. Every red light that made your foot move to the brake before your mind issued the instruction. Every red logo that made a brand feel more powerful than its competitor standing next to it on the shelf. Red did not ask for your attention. Red took it before you could decide whether to give it. And now, for the first time, you know the mechanism. You know that your heart rate increased. You know that your pupils dilated. You know that your adrenal system activated. You know that red advanced toward you, out of the surface it occupied, and entered your nervous system before your conscious mind had finished seeing it. Knowing this will not stop it from happening. The response is too old, too deep, too far below the reach of conscious override. But knowing this means something that the institutions using red have always counted on you not knowing. It means you can watch it happen. You can feel the response arrive, and you can ask, for the first time, who put the red there, and what they needed you to feel. Next, we enter green, the only color the human eye can see more shades of than any other color in the visible spectrum. The color that every hospital in the world uses in its operating rooms, not for cleanliness, for a reason so precise and so biological, it will permanently change how you see every green room you ever walk into. Why does green make the human eye see red more clearly? And why did every surgeon in history eventually figure this out?